We have someone from the Army Corps of Engineers, excuse me, on the phone with us right now. Heath Jones. Heath, thank you for joining us. This is a storm that we have not seen before, and what are you guys thinking at the Corps about what the system that you all have built can take?
Hey, good morning. So we've built this system to a 1% design level for surge value. So this particular track on the east bank of the river really should not be much of a problem. The surge values projected are much lower than the heights of the levees that we improved after Katrina. The West Bank, the National Hurricane Center is calling for some possible overtopping of the levees down there, but it's not majorly over the top of that design value that we've designed the system for.
And what about for the folks down in Terrebonne? If this thing lands in Terrebonne as a Cat 4, a strong Cat 4 with 150-mile-an-hour winds and storm surge, what does that do to the marshlands that are really part of the barrier that help us all?
Well, Terrebonne does have a levee protection system,
yes.
Morgan's adult system.
But is it designed for this?
No, it's not. It's not designed for this. It is part of a federal project we are intending to build in the future, but no, I don't believe it's designed for this level. They may have some issues down there, so follow the local leaders' advice. I believe there's some evacuations ordered down that way, and yeah, I mean, they may have some issues down on that system down in Terrebonne, Plaquemines Parish. So
you feel pretty confident for Orleans and Jefferson, the levee systems here, that if this storm stays on this, the levee system should be able to hold. If it would take a jog to the east, what would that mean?
So we've seen some modeling with the jogs to the east. It definitely increases the water level, but still nothing on the East Bank system. We have levees out on the East Bank, some around St. Bernard Parish and to the east that are up to 30 feet high. The St. Bernard T-wall is about 32 feet. So we've vastly improved this levee system since Katrina. It's a perimeter approach. We have the surge barrier, Seabrook, the structures out at the lake. And we're pretty confident, even with a small jog to the east, that the East Bank system will hold. Our partners with the levee districts have been out the past couple of days closing the system up, closing all the gates. They're just about done with all that, if not done already by this morning, and now we're waiting to kind of see what happens.
And of course, the thing that stands out to everybody is this is coming on the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. We knew the levees failed us because we had dodged the bullet. The storm took a turn to the east. We thought we had dodged a bullet. We didn't realize just how much or how weak that levee system was at the time, and that's what you guys have spent the past 16 years doing, is improving that levee system so that would never happen again.
Yeah, exactly. So we spent $14.5 billion Congress gave us after Katrina to improve the system. So we've done vast changes in design, vast changes in our approach. Again, it's a perimeter approach where we've pushed the protection out. It has resiliency built in it to where if it is overtopped in places, it's designed to take that overtopping. We've got special grass on the levees. We got transitions that are hardened. The flood walls designs have vastly changed to a T-wall design versus an I-wall design that failed us during Katrina. So we've spent 16 years trying to make this the best possible system in the world, and we truly believe it is.
And for the city of New Orleans, the three outfall canals that you all put floodgates on, that was one of the most important things that you did, aside from closing Mr. Go and building that humongous levee system out there in St. Bernard. I mean, it's just like those were all such important things to happen.
That's right. That is the perimeter approach I keep talking about. We pushed the protection out towards the lake, towards Lake Bourne. On the West Bank, we built West Closure Complex, the largest pump station in the world. So we've taken the defense system and pushed it out towards the water. And so the idea, like during Katrina, the water was able to get into 17th Street Canal, Orleans, and London. But now we have the closures at the lake with pump stations associated with it. So we're not letting the water get against those walls that had failures during Katrina.
Yeah, and Heath, we're looking at a picture of Terrebonne. Terrebonne is in for a very rough day today. If this thing stays on the track that we're talking about, aside from Terrebonne, what other vulnerable areas that your federal levees are designed to protect, where do you think you're the most vulnerable if it stays on this track with your levee system?
So I'd say Terrebonne for sure. Grand Isle, obviously, we have a sacrificial dune. It was a federal project down in Grand Isle. There's not a levee. It's a sacrificial dune that has made the news quite frequently lately, but it's a barrier island. Then I would say Plaquemines Parish. We have a mixture of federal and non-federal levees down in Plaquemines Parish. I know they got mandatory evacuation south of Belchase down there. They look to be sort of in the crosshairs for surge as well.
And Jefferson Parish is going to be a bit closer to the eye of the storm, but if it stays on this track, they will feel it a lot more than we will in the city. I mean, we'll still feel it in the city, but the farther you get away from New Orleans toward that track, the worse it's going to be.
Yeah, that's right. So the further west you get, the more wind impacts you're going to get. I was looking a graph earlier about, looks like a 20% chance of hurricane force winds in the city of New Orleans. It rapidly increases your probabilities as you go west. So, yeah, Jefferson Parish, St. Charles Parish, Lafourche, Terrebonne, they might have a bad day.
Yeah, we're looking at Jefferson Parish right now. And, we've always said that the worst case scenario for New Orleans would be a hurricane coming up the river when the river is high. That's not the case happening here. This does appear to be the worst case scenario for Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes.
Yeah, that's right. So there's really two scenarios. I mean, there's 1,000 hurricane scenarios, but two, if you can boil it down to, there's one that goes east of the river, which was Katrina, which posed a problem for the East Bank. And then if one that's going kind of west of the river really is the West Bank, Lafourche, Terrebonne Parish, it causes problems there. So unlike Katrina, this one is west of the river at landfall. The river's kind of serves as a barrier between the two. Of course, with the river levees, we don't anticipate any problems on the river levees at all. I've seen a forecast of 12 feet here at our district at Carrollton, but every year during floods, we go through that. We see 17, 18 feet in the past couple of years routinely. So we don't think any issues will happen on the river itself.
And you were talking about Plaquemines Parish because of the way that parish is geographically laid out. They get it coming and going.
Yeah, they do. I mean, geographically, they can get it on the West Bank and they can get it on the East Bank because they're literally sticking out in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah. So geographically, it's a challenge for them when these storms come. So this one will pose a problem for the West Bank of Plaquemines and probably the East Bank of Plaquemines, Braithwaite, Scarsdale area, those areas as well.
So how confident are you, and we'll end this soon, but how confident are you in the levee system around Metro New Orleans? I guess the biggest problem we'll see here is the rainfall and trying to pump all that water out. But you think the levees are secure enough for a storm of this magnitude and this track?
I do. I do. We like I said, we spent the past 16 years, spent a lot of money, a lot of work went into designing this system. We have some great non-federal sponsors, great partners in the Levee Authority East, Levee Authority West, Plaquemines Parish, that we work with every single day, trying to make sure this system is going to perform. We've been in close contact with them. Again, they've closed everything down. They've done the required maintenance. The system is ready to perform. Quite frankly, I'm personally more worried about rain and wind. These rainfall forecasts, I don't have to say it, we all know, are above the design capacity of some of the pumping systems. And then the wind, obviously, Hurricane Gustav didn't come here, but people were out of power for weeks. So those two, if I'm honest, are the two things I'm worried about: more rain and wind than the actual surge for New Orleans proper.
Yeah, and if it stays on the current track, we'll still be in for some very strong winds from the center of this storm, as far as Jefferson, Orleans, all the way into St. Bernard.
That's right.
All right, thank you very much, Heath. We appreciate your candor and information you give, and we all hope you're right that this system can withstand what this storm is bringing with it.
Yes, sir. Thanks.